Good afternoon and welcome to a new series of Friday First.
Joining us on the sofa today,
I'll be talking about the Grammys Award ceremony.
And I'll be discussing the upcoming student elections.
indie band Viola Beach have reached their #1 iTunes chart after a tribute campaign was launched. The band and their manager were sadly killed when their car plummeted from a motorway bridge in Sweden. Inzi Rashid went to their hometown in Warrington to see the tributes being paid to the young band.
The scene of Sunday's tragedy, which took 5 young lives.
The
The band's hire car plunged 80 feet off the bridge into icy waters. The wreckage, as it emerged from the canal, showed just how devastating the damage was. Viola Beach were rising stars of the British music scene. Chris Leonard, River Reeves, Thomas Lowe and Jack Dakin, guided by their manager Craig Tarry. The band had been playing at a music festival near Stockholm on Friday night, one of their regular appearances outside of the UK. Back home in Warrington, a book of condolences lies in the town hall. Flowers have been placed at the Golden Gates and friends have gathered outside the bar where the band were formed, sharing their memories and disbelief.
What can you say? What
can you say? It's absolutely devastating. It's like for everyone. They were loved by so many people like around here. You know, obviously, like I mean, it was my relationship with Chris. He developed me a lot, and you know, through music and things. And you know, we wrote together, and you know, we loved the same things, and we had the same ambitions. There's a lot of funny times. I mean, anyone here can tell you a funny time about life, you know what I mean?
It's literally all just fun and games all the time, man. Like, whether it's been with us, whether it's been with the people around.
It's never a dark moment, mate.
I can't remember one time that we weren't smiling.
It was right here that Viola Beach and their manager were going to return to the illustrious Pyramid and Parr Hall in Warrington. They wanted to come back to their hometown to put on a performance for their friends, their family, and the fans that really supported them.
Youngest member River would have celebrated his 19th birthday on Wednesday. He attended Bridgewater High School in Appleton. Head teacher Tim Long said, "The tragic death of River Reeves and his friends fills us with the deepest sadness. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends." In Sweden, an investigation is well underway to determine how this British indie band and their manager died. For their family and friends back home, their legacy remains. Inzi Rashid, Quays News.
Now, do you recognize anyone in these photographs? Shelter, the homelessness and housing charity, have launched a search to find the children featured in photographs of Manchester slums in the 1960s. The children photographed will be now aged between 50 and 70.
Released as part of the shelter's 50th anniversary, the collection of photographs depict the lives of families living in cold, damp and often dangerous conditions in Manchester and Salford. If you recognise yourself or someone else in these images, then you can contact Shelter on stories@shelter.org.uk. You can see the full story on our website, quaysnews.net.
The elections to become a new sabbatical officer of the Student Union are coming up soon, with nominations closing today. But what does it mean to be a sabbatical officer? I went down to find out more.
Each year, 5 students are elected to lead the Students' Union for the next academic year. Students can nominate themselves to become a new sabbatical officer in the elections coming up in March. But why is it good to be a sabbatical officer?
It's good to be a sabbatical officer because it's an opportunity for you to make a change, be a platform for the voice of students to be heard.
If you are having some problems and if you want things to be, changed for better, then this is the perfect opportunity for students to come forward and to be elected as a sabbatical officer and work on those issues.
There are 5 full-time positions, the president and 4 Students' Union officers. Successful candidates will have a 12-month paid full-time job and will be leading campaigns and representing students. Do students actually know who their current sabbatical officer is?
I don't actually know who they are, I'm not aware of it, but I'd like to get involved if I knew about it.
I'm not too sure who our current sabbatical officer is for the Arts and Media Department. And if they do a good job, like I said, I'm not too sure it is, but I imagine if they've been voted into the position and they're still in the position, then I imagine they are doing a good job.
It's really bad. I know exactly what it looks like, but I can't remember his name. And I personally haven't really noticed anything that they've actually done.
My sabbatical officer is Ade. She does a really good job. She makes us feel really connected. We can always go to her if we need anything, and she understands what we want from the university.
This role has helped me to discover improved skills that I never thought I would be using today. I believe students should go for this. Students who feel they can make a change should go for this, because if you don't, who will? You know, it's there for students. The union is an organisation run by students for students. And anyone who's running for arts and media, if you do win, this will get passed down to you. This is a unicorn that has been passed down to all arts and media SABs.
There is not many students who can say they have been on the board of a £1 million organisation before they graduated. Being a sabbatical officer is a fantastic opportunity to make a real difference in the life of students here at Salford University. Nicola Bartosheva, Quays News.
The nominations to run for sabbatical officer closed at midday today. Coming in just now is some more information about the candidates. So Emily, what do we know about those running for the student union elections?
Well, Jess, nominations have just closed in the race to be part of 16/17 sabbatical officer team, and it's seen record interest. It's been a great year. We have a total of 36 candidates put forward for nominations, so there's a lot to pick from, so it's been quite hard to make a decision when voting opens.
Definitely. So how can we get to know them more?
Get to know more, yes. There'll be a candidates question time in the union on the 3rd of March from 4 p.m, so you can turn up, ask questions, ask them what their policies are, how they're going to represent you, because at the end of the day, that's their job to represent the students at the union.
Are you able to tell us who the arts and media officer will be?
Yes, I can. So there's a few nominees. There's Bakvia, Joseph Stevens, Jonathan Hayward, Tom Roberts, Stephen Smallman, Zach Anderson, Dan Willis, Jade Chadwick and Adienko Adbayo.
Wow, quite a few names,
Quite a few,
So how can we vote for them?
So voting opens at 9 a.m. on the 4th of March and closes at 4 p.m. on the 10th of March. So it's not that long away, but you can vote online. It's quite easy to do, and everyone should do it, really.
Yeah, I think that the results will be in the Atmosfera Chamber later on the 10th of March.
Yeah, so make sure you're there. It should be a good party, hopefully.
Oh yeah, we should all be there. Yeah, so what about the Health and Social Care School?
So Health and Social Care have historically had quite a low engagement with only 2 candidates in the past, but now it's been a record year for them. There's definitely been a lot more engagement, which is great to see that these students are getting represented.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, that's great, yeah. And the other schools, do you have any more information about the other
so
schools?
there's Arts and Media, Business and Law, Health and Social Care, President and Science Technology. So all students get represented.
Fantastic. And I was going to say, would there be any opportunity to go in and vote in person, or is it just online that the voting is happening?
I think it's just online, so I'm not quite sure.
Oh, okay, never.
Yeah, okay. So the president?
President.
Do you know who will be for the president?
Unfortunately, I don't, but it'll be online. You can vote on that.
Thank you
and
so
you can
much.
Find out more details about
thank you so much for your information. Yeah, thank you. So moving on, a training day hosted by the Student Radio Association at Salford University's Media City campus brought student radio stations from across the Northwest and North Wales together to learn and network with experts in the industry.
Among the guests were Donald Scally, a past student who's now the street team manager and the producer for the Key 103 network, Pulse One's breakfast presenter, Danny Milo, and BBC 5 Live, Sam Walker. The Grammys took place on Monday night, featuring
her husband set up, became PC this.
Sorry about the technical issue you just had there. Okay, so the Grammys took place on Monday night, featuring the famous awards, eccentric performances and a little bit of controversy. So Zara, can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Well, the Grammys has never been a stranger to controversy, and it started off with Lady Gaga. She was doing a tribute to the biggest starman that we know, the late David Bowie, and she performed hits such as Heroes and also Let's Dance. Now, I personally think the performance was great. However, unfortunately, David Bowie's son decided to send out a cryptic tweet saying that it was overexcited or irrational.
I suppose it was a little bit of a risky move, you know, maybe a bit too soon for some people.
Yeah. What about Adele? I've heard she had technical difficulties.
Yeah, what a nightmare for our Brit. It ended up that during the ad break, the microphone fell into the piano and she couldn't get it out in time, so her whole performance sounded too pitchy, which she was criticised for during the live event.
Poor Adele, but we know she can do a fabulous job anyway. So.
Yeah.
But what about Taylor Swift?
Yeah, Taylor Swift was the biggest winner of the night. 3 Grammys, obviously to add to her massive collection. And then what's more as well is that she's the first ever female to win Album of the Year award twice.
Oh, fabulous news. Could you tell us a little bit about Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, Ed Sheeran won Song of the Year for Thinking Out Loud. I'm sure all you must know that song.
Yeah, I love that song, my favourite, like in 2015, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And the record?
Yeah, Record of the Year went to the song Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars, which also gets played constantly, so everyone knows it as well.
I think it's one of those that is just always going to be out there. It's never going to disappear, you know. We're going to hear it in 10 years' time and still recognise it.
Yeah, definitely.
There was more controversy for the night, though, as when Taylor Swift won Album of the Year. I don't know whether you've heard, but Kanye West's album was released last week, and in one of his songs it was revealed that he ended up saying that he was the reason for Taylor Swift's fame. So it ended up in Taylor Swift's winning speech. She decided to say that if anyone claims your fame, when you know where you're going, one day you'll know it's the greatest feeling in the world. And everyone clapped, and it was the biggest thing everyone was talking about for the whole night. So good on Taylor Swift.
Well, I suppose Kanye is one of those. He's always got to get his word in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And he's always got a controversial statement to say.
Yeah, I really like when, who was it? Ed Sheeran was thanking his parents live. Oh, that was really nice, I think.
Yeah, it was really nice. But on the other hand, we found out just recently that the shot of his parents was actually not his actual parents. Yeah,
it's funny.
So that was all the key events that happened at the Grammys.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Zara.
Okay.
And we're moving on. So the weather has been kind to us the last few days, but what does the rest of the week have in store for us, Jess?
Well, I braved the Salford winds to deliver this report.
That's good, Zara.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, we apologise for technical difficulties. So now moving on.
How would you propose to your partner? Bend down on one knee? Well, on Saturday, one man surprised his girlfriend by staging a mass flash mob at Manchester's Arndale shopping centre, then proposing to her in front of many onlookers. You'll be glad to know she did say yes. Well, I'd be slightly embarrassed if that was me, but
I will be happy she said yes.
Yeah, I know, thank goodness. That would be so awkward.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, so that's it. Don't forget to keep up to date with more of the latest news and events on our website keysnews.net, or follow us on Twitter @keysnews.
That's all for Friday First today. We'll be back next week.
Coming up next is debut of Chatterboxes. Until next week, goodbye.
Goodbye.